They believe only in autocratic behavior, autocratic decision-making. They don't believe in any compromise or any discussion. That's tyranny, is it not?
And what I'm fearful about is that the public doesn't recognize it. And if they don't think there are going to be food shortages and food allotments and energy approach.
It's interesting you should say that. You know, I have been a student of politics since I'm about 17. And I made a statement when I was 17 or 18 years old that I still think is true, which is I've studied revolutions around the world, and revolutions generally never occur unless there's mass hunger. And we have a nation that's obese and fat, obese and stuffed to the gills like pigs in a whatever, a sty. How can there ever be any kind of uprising against this illegitimacy by a people that is so stuffed with cheap calories? It's impossible.
Corn syrup and the products that they're putting in the foods. But when you go around the country and the world and you see the horrific climatic changes with the weather, that the crops are failing because of floods, they can't grow it. Eventually, when we run out of money and they debase our dollar and it comes down to the government will allocate, I don't think it's more than 10 years away.
Well, we're projecting a nightmare scenario. It's almost like Y2K. I don't see us giving up the wheat fields, do you?
I see the government taking over, just like they did with the.
Well, Stalin took over the farms from the kulaks. They were the capitalist farmers of Russia who were producing food and making a living and feeding the Russian people. Stalin said this is no good, and he nationalized the farms, and there was mass starvation in Russia, and 30 million people starved to death. Look at what Mugabe did in Zimbabwe when he took over the white-owned farms. The people, while they were white-owned farms, admittedly on stolen land, but the whites were farming and producing a food surplus in Zimbabwe. Is that correct? They were exporting food. After the blacks took over the farms, there was mass starvation. They become basically a nation of begging cups. Thank you for the call. Look, the problem here is I've eaten from the apple of knowledge, and I know what's going on. And if you don't like it, if it's too much for you, we can play some rock and roll. So let's play a little rock and roll as we take our first break of the second hour. There you go, little Beatles. Hi, John. How are you? Bang. John, I love your work. Boom.
Was the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing.
He was absolutely right. He's prophetic, Bob Dylan. The loser now will be the win. The loser now will be the win. And look what's going on in the world. It's a world upside down. People without qualifications whatsoever are in high places giving each other awards. So the loser now will be the win. Of course, they give each other prizes for doing nothing. That's all. It's upside down. The whole world's upside down. It's exactly what happened in Mao Zedong's China. I told you the story 1,000 times. I told you once. After Mao Zedong, the mass murderer, took over China, he went into the hospitals. I'm giving you an example of the medical system. And he took the surgeons out of the surgical wards in China, and he put them in the laundries and made them into laundresses and launderers, if he didn't outright kill them for being counter-revolutionary. And he took the dumb, illiterate peasant women who had worked in the laundry and turned them into the medical doctors. And he said to them, "Sister, you are now a doctor." And if they said to the cadre, the head of the cadre, but I don't know anything about medicine, they would shoot her for being a counter-revolutionary. So if you tell me we're not going through a Mao-like revolution in the United States of America, is because you're an ignorant moron that doesn't understand the first thing about history. Nothing about history.